I always thought anniversaries were meant to celebrate love, a reminder of the promises two people made to each other and the life they built together. For 10 years, I held on to that belief with everything I had. I was the kind of husband who remembered the little details. Her favorite flower wasn't roses like most women, but lilies. She hated when I left lights on, and she left her coffee with just a hint of vanilla. I tried my best to be attentive, loving, and loyal, believing we were building something unbreakable. On the morning of our 10th anniversary, I wanted to do something special. I woke up early, made her breakfast in bed, and carefully arranged everything on a tray. Pancakes with strawberries, a little vase with a lily I bought the day before, and her favorite vanilla latte. I slid it onto the nightstand and smiled as she stirred awake. She thanked me, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. Something about her felt distant, cold even. I brushed it off, telling myself maybe she was just tired or stressed from work. That evening, I had arranged dinner at her favorite Italian restaurant. I wanted the night to be unforgettable. I had reserved the best table by the window, ordered her favorite wine, and even arranged for dessert to come with "Happy Anniversary" written in chocolate. But as we sat there, I could sense her unease. She wasn't engaged in the conversation, barely laughed at my jokes, and kept glancing at her purse. Finally, when dessert arrived, she reached into it and pulled out an envelope. She slid it across the table without a word. I laughed nervously and asked, "What's this? A love letter?" But her expression told me otherwise. I opened it and my hands began to tremble as I read. It wasn't a love letter, it was a confession. She wrote that she had been having an affair with David, my best friend, the man who had stood by my side at our wedding, the man who toasted me at my birthdays, the one I trusted like a brother. She explained how it started with small conversations, how she leaned on him when she felt lonely, and how it eventually turned into love. She ended the letter with words that broke me more than anything. "I'm in love with him. I'm sorry. I had to tell you the truth. I hope you understand." I stared at her, the paper shaking in my hands. "This is a joke, right? Tell me this is some kind of sick prank." She looked at me with an eerie calmness and said, "No, it's real." I couldn't keep pretending anymore. "You deserve to know." My heart sank, my mind went blank, and yet I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't throw the letter in her face. I smiled, and that smile unsettled her, because what she didn't know was that I had already known for months. I first suspected when she started staying late at work more often. Her phone was always face down, and she grew distant in bed. Then there were those small looks between her and David during family gatherings, little moments they thought nobody noticed. One night, she told me she was working late, but something felt off. I drove by her office, and her car wasn't there. Instead, I found David's car parked outside a rundown motel on the edge of town. That night, I didn't confront her. Instead, I made a choice. If she was betraying me, I wouldn't just catch her, I would make sure she paid for it. I hired a private investigator. Every meeting, every hotel rendezvous, every whispered conversation was documented. Photos, videos, receipts, all neatly compiled. I was patient. I said nothing. I played the role of the clueless, loving husband, while behind the scenes I gathered every piece of evidence I would need to destroy her world. So when she gave me that letter, she thought she was taking control. She thought she had the upper hand. What she didn't realize was that she had walked directly into the trap I had been setting. I raised my glass, forced a small smile, and said, "To honesty." She looked surprised by my calmness, maybe even a little scared. But I didn't let her see my cards. Not yet. Over the next few weeks, I acted broken, devastated, unable to cope. She moved out, straight into David's arms, convinced I was crumbling without her. But what she didn't know was that I had already secured my revenge. The house we lived in was in my name alone. She had never bothered to have her name added to the deed. Within days, I changed the locks and filed paperwork, making it clear she had no claim. When she left, she assumed she could always come back. She couldn't. Our finances had always been combined. But months earlier, I had slowly moved our money into separate accounts. When she left, she thought she would have access to our savings. Instead, she found herself cut off completely, without a single dollar from me. And then came the affair exposure. I sent every photograph, every hotel receipt, every recorded message to David's wife. Oh, yes, David was married too. He had a perfect little family, a wife who adored him, 2 young kids who looked up to him. And one night, all of that crumbled. His wife kicked him out, filed for divorce, and made sure he would never have custody of the children. His perfect life collapsed because of the truth I handed her. I wasn't finished. I carefully crafted anonymous packages and sent them to our mutual friends, her family, and even her coworkers. Inside each one was proof of her betrayal letters, photos, recordings. The whispers started immediately. The woman who had once been admired for her grace and loyalty became a pariah. Her reputation shattered, her friendships vanished, her own family ashamed of her. Weeks later, she showed up at my doorstep. Her once confident demeanor was gone, replaced with anger and desperation. She pounded on my door until I opened it. "You ruined my life," she screamed, tears streaming down her face. I looked at her calmly and said, "No. You ruined your life. I just showed everyone the truth." She shook her head, furious. "You'll regret this. You'll end up alone." I laughed, cold and unbothered. "Maybe, but at least I'll be free. You, on the other hand, lost everything, your husband, your friends, your reputation. And the man you destroyed our marriage for? He doesn't even want you anymore." She broke down right there, sobbing on the porch, but I felt nothing. No pity, no guilt, only closure. Because she thought her letter would break me, but it became the rope she used to hang herself. In the end, I didn't just take revenge, I won. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. It isn't violent. It doesn't always mean screaming or throwing punches. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is patience, waiting, setting the stage so that when the truth finally comes out, it consumes the betrayer completely. On our anniversary, she thought she had crushed me with her confession, but all she did was hand me the final piece I needed. And in the end, she was the one left broken, not me. Never betray someone who has nothing left to lose. Because the quiet ones, the ones who don't explode in anger right away, are the ones who know how to destroy you the most completely.